to call the Veterans and Military Task Force to order, and thank you all for your patience on this meeting. I just left City Council, and it's been a hectic day, but thank you all for your patience. I don't see a flag, but we're going to act like we have a flag right here. And if we can stand and do, is one up there? Okay. If we can stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and if we can do a moment of silence for those who we have lost. Thank you. I am going to just begin by welcoming everyone to the Veterans and Military Task Force meeting. For those who do not know, I am your Detroit City Council President, Brenda Jones, and although I am not a veteran, my father was, and I was asked to chair the Veterans and Military Task Force. It has been a great journey, so I am glad I accepted. I want to thank the VA hospital for allowing us into the hospital to have this meeting. I can't think of a better place to host a meeting so that we can get as many people as we could possibly get. We have been having the meetings out in the community as opposed to having it, we started having it down at the Coleman Municipal Center, but we have been moving the meeting around and having the meeting between the Samaritan Center. We will be at the VA hospital and at the Michigan Foundation over on Trumbull. And so we're trying to get in touch all of the veterans that we can actually touch. And so that's our purpose for moving the meeting around. We like to begin our meeting with introductions. And I don't know if we're going to have time to do introductions today because I see so many good people in here. But I do like to know who's sitting in the room with us and what branch of government they served in. And so if we can do this real quick, just if you give your name and what branch of government you served in.
Madam President, first of all, I want to thank you for hosting the meeting here today at Detroit VA Medical Center. And on behalf of the director, the staff, and the 54,000 veterans we care for in Southeast Michigan, we want to thank you for all the work that you and the City Council are doing for our heroes. So thank you.
Thank you, and we're going to start off with the introduction right there.
Right. My name is Bill Browning. I'm the Chief of Volunteer Community Relations here at the Detroit VA Medical Center and an Army veteran.
Thank you. And thank you for allowing us to be here.
VA 9.
Paul Palazzolo, President of the Vietnam Vets of America.
Edward Tuggle, President of the Triple Nickel Black Paratroopers, also with V9.
Hello, everybody. Janina Jacobs. I'm president of the Navy League and a bunch of other stuff, but in lieu of time, I won't tell you about it.
I'm Kate Melcher, Executive Director of Fisher House, Michigan, and an Army veteran.
Sharon Sykes, United States Air Force veteran.
Good afternoon. Michael Doc Holbrook. I'm an Army vet.
Jim Simmerad, Commander, U.S. Navy, retired, Navy League National Director.
Sergeant William Bradley, 182nd Field Artillery Unit here in Detroit, 3030 McGraw, veteran. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm Mark Kupchak. I chair the Veterans Mental Health Advocacy Council here at the hospital, and I'm a Navy veteran.
My name's Kevin Feeney, and I'm an Army veteran.
Hi, I'm Kim Kemler. I'm a social worker here at the Detroit VA.
Tina Sawicki, one of the suicide prevention coordinators here at the Detroit VA, daughter of an Army veteran and wife of an Army veteran.
Monica Manier, Army veteran and co-director of the Tri-County Veterans Network.
Good afternoon, John Gardner, retired Air Force vet, program manager for Roush Automotive Veteran Initiatives Program.
Maurice Jones, owner-operator of the Buffalo Soldier Memorial Park on Schoolcraft, opening up this Saturday. Veteran, Vietnam era.
Genevieve Douglas, vocational rehabilitation counselor for the VA and an Air Force veteran.
Good evening, I'm Joy Innes Johnson, a voc rehab counselor in the compensated work therapy and a wife of an Army veteran.
Hello, I'm Aaron Young with Vet Built Services.
I'm Hector Malacara Jr., U.S. Marine Corps retired, CEO and president of Vet Built Services, a full staffing company.
Claude Dickerson-Nui, Air Force, Vietnam vet.
Sean Lewis, naval vet and a city lead for Bunker Labs and community lead for Team RWB Detroit.
Rodney Warner, U.S. Army, Reboot Alumni Association.
Kim Clark, mother of a fallen Army veteran, daughter of an Army veteran, and honorary member of Reboot, is also a board member for them.
Good afternoon, Renee Thomas. Not a veteran, but I'm working on a community heroes wall for veterans.
Good afternoon. My name is Pat Cole, and I'm the president of the Women's Veterans Resource Center.
Good afternoon, everyone. Aja Smith. I am a voc rehab counselor in the compensated work therapy program here at the Detroit VA.
Hello, I'm Harold Dukes, peer support specialist here at the VA in the compensated work therapy program.
Tricia McClellan, my husband is a Vietnam vet, and I work in housing for veterans to be placed.
Hi there. Joshua Capusta, here representing as a platoon member of The Mission Continues and a Coast Guard veteran.
Evelyn Kennedy, president of Wolverine Chapter 67, Women's Army Corps Veterans Association.
My name is Clara Evans. I'm the commander of the DAV Keenan Rankin Chapter 1.
Danny Craig, U.S. Army Vietnam veteran, just recently appointed to Michigan Veterans Memorial Park Commission by the governor.
Samantha Winston, worked for Michigan Veteran Foundation as a case manager.
Tyrone Parker, Army veteran and CWT peer support specialist.
John Ely, United States Marine Corps, here with Vet Build as well as the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable membership chair to see how many veterans we can get involved in what we're doing. And that's supporting advocacy, mentorship, and networking for veterans.
Arthur Jones, Army, Korean veteran. Thank you.
Hi, Emily Firstel Angus. I'm with The Mission Continues, spouse of an Army.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cheryl Clark, wife of Cleartha Clark, a veteran of the Marines.
My name is Harvey Watts of the United States Army, Vietnam veteran.
Janice Burnett, I'm with the Elliotorians. We're sponsoring a job fair for vets this month.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin Scott. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran and a certified peer support specialist.
Good afternoon. I'm Rita Ross. I'm just here representing my father and my brother, Vietnam and World War I vet.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sergeant Major Doris Dudley. I am a Afghanistan veteran, and I was in the Army.
Did everyone have an opportunity to introduce themselves? Okay, thank you so very much for those great introductions. Now it's time to get an update on the Fisher House. So we're going to hear from Kate Melcher, the Executive Director of the U.S. Army. Kate, if you want to come up here with me, Kate. Yeah. And while she's coming, I just want to thank our media people for being here today to make sure we capture everything. For those who are not able to make it, they will be able to view it. And so we're going to ask everyone, if you have any comments, if you just raise your hand, and when you raise your hand, the mic will come to you, and that way we can make sure we capture everything that has been said. So again, thank everyone for being here. And Kate, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam President. It's my pleasure to be here. I'd like to share some information about what's going on with Fisher House, Michigan. Primarily, we are focused in Detroit and we are focused in Ann Arbor because those are the two approved sites for Fisher Houses. I just need to ask, who knows what a Fisher House is? Excellent. I knew in a group of vets there'd be a bunch of hands. For those of you who don't know, a Fisher House is like a Ronald McDonald House for our military and veteran families. There will be two Fisher Houses in the state, one in Ann Arbor adjacent to the Ann Arbor VA healthcare system, and one right here in the community for the John D. Dingle VA hospital. Here's the update. We're going to be breaking ground in Ann Arbor on June 14th. Army birthday, hua, Flag Day, and the day that we get to finally realize all of the gifts of time, talent, and treasure that Michiganders have given. We're finally going to put a shovel in the ground in Ann Arbor. But I'm sitting in Detroit, and you probably are more concerned about what's happening in Detroit. I also have good news to deliver there. Not only was the Detroit Fisher House approved out of cycle, every step of the way has been accelerated because the need is so great in this community. I was born and raised here in Michigan, and I often thought that maybe Detroit was sort of an afterthought, and we weren't doing as best we could to take care of our Detroiters and our veterans here. And I'm here to tell you, when it comes to Fisher House, that's absolutely not true. As I hear about the organizations that are represented here, I know it's not true. Everybody that's sitting here wants to put Detroit veterans first. The Detroit City Council, thank you, Madam President, the Detroit Mayor, Fisher House National Organization, Fisher House Michigan, the VA here in Detroit, and the VA National, 6 groups all want to see this Fisher House get to Detroit as soon as possible. Everyone's working together to make that happen. The VA has identified some land here in the community that appears to be appropriate for a Fisher House, but there's a due diligence process to make certain that the land is appropriate. That's going along swimmingly and faster than we expected. Fisher House National, who's going to do the construction, they're already hoping to get the Detroit Fisher House build on the calendar for 2020. Can't quite hold my breath yet because construction, you know how that works. Sometimes it goes faster than others. But all of that is to say that everything is accelerated because the need in Michigan is so great, because the number of veterans served here in Detroit is so large. So what does my organization do? Of all those 6 organizations that we talked about, My organization is responsible for raising awareness and for raising funds. And so far, Michigan, y'all have donated $5.5 million to bring these Fisher houses to the state. And as we sit here in May, you all know, you're in the military and veteran space, and you know that May is a huge month in our community. It's not just Memorial Day. It's Armed Forces Week. We appreciate our military spouses this month, and I appreciate the military spouses that are here. May is a huge month, not only for us to remember those who have fallen, but to pay tribute to those who served, and to build these living memorials in Ann Arbor and in Detroit called Fisher houses. These houses that we build in the next couple of years, they are built to the highest of codes and to the highest of engineering standards, so that what we build today and tomorrow, they're not only for our veterans and their families of today, but for veterans and their families that haven't even been born yet. We are so proud that Michigan is going to be home to these 2 Fisher houses, and I really thank you for your support. If you don't follow us on social media, Facebook or Instagram, please do so at Fisher House, Michigan. That's where we get to brag about our friends and about large gifts that come in. That's where we get to announce events and partnerships. There's men and women in this room here today that work with organizations that have supported Fisher House. And I want to be able to brag about Motor City Veterans Village and the $25,000 gift that they just gave this spring. I want to be able to brag about other organizations and Team RWB and what they're doing to keep people fit and to prevent suicide. I want to be able to brag about all of that on our website while raising awareness for Fisher House. So please share your content with us. We'll share our content with you, and we'll get these Fisher houses built. Thank you, Madam President, for your time.
So again, if someone wants to make a donation and knows someone who wants to make a donation, who should they contact and how shall they contact them?
You may contact Fisher House, Michigan. My name is Kate Melcher, and I'm the executive director. And I'm going to give you a whole list of ways to donate because I need it to be easy for you to do so. You can donate online at www.fisherhousemichigan.org. That's all one word, all spelled out, fisherhousemichigan.org, and click donate. You can donate through Facebook. Go to Facebook/FisherHouseMich, M-I-C-H. You can call us on the phone and donate. Our phone number is 518-481-0552. And I get the question, that's not a Michigan area code. Where am I calling? That phone number, it's a Google Voice number that we get for free. We want to make sure that as much of your donor dollar as possible goes to Fisher House. So we went out and got a free phone number. But that phone will ring my phone and 3 members of my board of directors. So you'll either get a voicemail if we're not available or a live person who works at Fisher House, Michigan to accept your donation over the phone. Last but not least, you can put a check in the mail. We have a post office box, Fisher House, Michigan, post office box 130466, post office box 130466, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48113. All of that information is on our website. It's on Facebook. If I can make it easier for you to donate, please let me know how to do that. I appreciate your support.
Thank you so very much for that update. Although she said everyone is awaiting the Detroit because we're in Detroit, I'm happy to know that we will be breaking ground for a Fisher House in Michigan, even though it will be in Ann Arbor, and know that Detroit will be coming, and it will be coming very soon. Are there any questions? If you are able to, and you do have a question, if you can come to the mic. If you're not able and you raise your hand, we will bring the mic to you. So if you have any questions, Kate Melcher would be the person to ask if there are any questions in regards to Fisher House. No questions? Any comments? Any good comments?
You know, if there are no questions or comments, I ask one thing of you today. Follow us. Tell somebody who's not here about Fisher House. Tell some other Michigander who's not here why we need Fisher Houses in the state. Yes, sir.
Kate,
Hi.
thank you very much for everything you're doing. And everybody that understands Fisher Houses knows how important this is. But how many people can a Fisher House in Detroit accommodate? I know it's kind of broken up by number of families, number of people, et cetera. And, you know, for just to kind of capsule it and make sure I got this straight, but if I'm a vet, which I am, and I have to get surgery here for 5 days, and I go into rehab, my family can stay at the Fisher House for free.
Yes, sir.
And while I'm recovering.
Yes, sir. Each of the Fisher Houses planned for Michigan, one in Ann Arbor, one in Detroit, is able to house 16 families. And because families are not all the same shapes and sizes, each of the private family suites is a different configuration. The smallest of them has 2 twin beds. The largest of them even has Murphy beds in the wall. A good friend of mine from downriver, David Rojas, was in the 4th ID, and he got blown up downrange. And he came back to Fort Hood, where there's a Fisher House. He brought mom, he brought grandma, he brought brothers and sisters. He brought 8 people with him to stay in the Fisher House to help him heal. And now he's working at Veterans Court, doing great things for vets here in Michigan. So the general rule, and once the Fisher Houses are built, they're gifted to the VA for Bill Browning's team to run here in Detroit, for April LaRock to run in Ann Arbor. So they have all kinds of rules about how things work, but generally speaking, if you live farther than 50 miles away or more than an hour drive, and you're otherwise eligible, your family can stay at a Fisher House. If you live just up the street and your family can stay at the house and get here no problem, you're probably not going to stay in a Fisher House. It's not a homeless program. It doesn't replace the good work that the homeless team is doing here in Detroit. It is specifically for families that have to travel a great distance or endure a great hardship to come be with you veterans while you're healing here at the Detroit VA Hospital. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Councilwoman. How you doing?
How are you? I am blessed by the best.
I
How
can
are
tell.
you?
I can tell.
All
Amen.
right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cheryl Clark, and I have been an advocate for veterans since 2001 when I married my husband. And I started a nonprofit organization. And my goal right now is to build housing for veterans and young adults aging out the foster care system. But I said that to say I created 2 companies, Applewood Construction, which is a paint company, and then my Dutech Supply Company, which I supply paint. I created those businesses so that I could give veterans jobs and young people aging out the system. So if I could network with you, I would appreciate it.
I'd be happy to give you my card, and I will actually pass your information along to National. Like I said, our role at Fisher House, Michigan, we raise awareness, we raise funds. That national organization is going to come in and do construction.
All right.
I get a lot of questions about union labor, get a lot of questions about materials. Fisher House Foundation pays prevailing wage in no matter what community that they're in. They will often subcontract with local contractors and companies like this. I don't have any say in how that works. Fisher House National will handle all of those things. They've gotten really good at building Fisher Houses since they've built 82 around the world. They use 3 of the same general contractors that go to different regions, and those general contractors have gotten really good. They can build a 16-suite home with common areas to the highest of standards in about 12 to 15 months. It's pretty impressive. So we let them, the experts, do what they need to do, and we're happy to make connections. They're the decision makers. They run the show. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are there any other questions? If you can come to the mic, I would appreciate it. I will make it much easier for the media person if you can come to the mic if you have any other questions or comments.
Hello, Edward Tuggle. One of my past jobs with the city was compliance officer. And as a compliance officer, we try to make sure that those jobs are available for Detroit workers. Can you, I can't say promise, can you give us some certification that those jobs and building the building will go to Detroit veterans?
Sir, I can't give you that assurance, but what I can tell you is that the general contractors that Fisher House Foundation uses subcontract locally. That's a typical procedure. I can make no promises because I'm not the decision maker. Sergeant Major, did you have a question?
Yes, I do, ma'am. It's pretty simple. I know that you said that there is an area near the hospital where it's being built. Can you tell us where that area is?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that out loud in this forum.
I think we can probably say it's within a half mile of the medical center. So we're still in the acquisition
You're
process.
researching
Yes.
it.
Where the property that we selected, we worked closely with the City Planning Commission, the City Council, and we have identified 3 properties. The one we selected is about a half mile from the hospital. So very close. I can tell you that it is along John R. That's about all I can tell you right now as far as details.
Okay. One of the challenges with this medical center is that it is landlocked. Typically, Fisher houses are built on federal property adjacent to the hospital, and we don't have that luxury here in Detroit. But Fisher House has built other Fisher houses that were not immediately adjacent to medical centers, and they've come up with other solutions to make certain that transportation is not a problem. They've partnered with an organization called Tee It Up for the Troops, who provides golf carts to shuttle back and forth. There's lots of ways that we can bridge the half-mile gap between the Fisher House property, where it's expected to be, and the Detroit VA.
Okay. Are there any other questions of someone who did not come to the mic, that could not make it to the mic, that have a question? I need you to wait until the mic gets to you, or either come to the mic. And it would be much easier for everyone if you could come to the mic if possible for the media persons. Go ahead, the mic, you had a mic now, so.
The question I was going to ask is, will the Fisher House be available for men and women veterans?
Yes, ma'am. So to be clear, the Fisher House is primarily for the families and the caregivers. So regardless of the gender of the veteran who is receiving inpatient medical care at the VA, their family and or caregiver is welcome to stay.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Thank you so much for your interest in Fisher House. I'll be hanging around through the rest of the meeting and a bit afterward. If you have questions that you weren't comfortable saying through the mic, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move to committee updates. Committee updates, if you can go to the mic with your committee update, please.
Yeah, just a quick announcement. Tomorrow, there's going to be a career fair, and I think we've promoted it through this. I'm president of the Detroit Police Department's Bowie organization for Precinct 11 over on Nevada. And they're having a big career fair, probably with hundreds of high school young men and women. And what is not on the flyer that was distributed, which I was able to get approved, is that we will have military recruiters there as well. So I know the Navy's coming, the Coast Guard's coming. I think perhaps the other branches, the Army, the Air Force, and the Marines are going to be there. And if anyone here wants to make sure that happens, let me know, because there's still time to do that. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the precinct on Nevada, 11th Precinct.
Okay. Paul?
Thank you. Ms. Jacobs. Paul Palazzolo, president of Chapter 9. It's been a very good year for Chapter 9. We've got a lot of things accomplished. One of the things I want to talk about is free dental for all veterans. You have to register. I'm going to give you a phone number. By May 1st is the first day you could register for this free dental program. Phone number is 844-277-34646. It's 844-277-3646. It's being distributed by Aspen, a company. I don't know where they're located at, but we've talked to them several times. So, Chapter 9 has entered into an agreement with the Board of Education. We have put up $250,000 for scholarships. We've been working on this for 3 years for veterans. You apply through the Board of Education. It's really a great, great program. I'm really proud that we were able to do this. It took a long time to get it done. $250,000 can help a lot of kids get off the street, get into programs. We also gave $40,000 to Randolph Academy. This is for vocational training. There's plenty of jobs down here, but the kids can't get them. They're not electricians, they're not pipe fitters. So we're hoping to get these kids into these programs so get them off the street. We're going to have our annual July 26th Police Officer Appreciation in Cass Park. We're going to feed all the police officers and firemen. It's our appreciation to say thank you. I was going to speak about the Fisher, but how can I speak so elegantly as this woman did? And Jim's going to talk about the Broadhead Armory. We sent 40 veterans to the hockey game. They didn't have to pay a dime, and they were up on the marquee, and they actually were very proud of that. Sending these men who, you know, or some of them are out on the street, and some of them just never go to a hockey game, so we were able to help them. We also were sending them 62 men to the baseball game. I might have some extras tickets. I'm going to give you my phone number. It's 586-404-0034. Call me in June, and I'll let you know if I have extra tickets, okay? We're going to have a press conference about the state monument. That's at the state fairgrounds. We've been working on that for 14 years to move it. It's been falling apart. It's a World War I monument. I can't give you the details, but I assure you we have the funds available now, and it's going to be placed somewhere along the riverfront. There'll be a date in the next couple of weeks, okay? Yeah, the state fairgrounds has a monument. It's a pylon. It's 50 feet tall. It's a World War I monument, and it's falling apart. Me and Tyrone Chapman and Dick Chapman have been working on that for several years, and the plaques are falling apart. I believe I think some of them are at the Historical Preservation. We've saved the cannons. They've already been redone. They're in Lansing, so that shouldn't be a problem to move this monument to the riverfront. So we're just waiting, and there'll be a press conference in a couple of weeks. Jim's here to talk about the Broadhead, which we've been working on. The UAW Ford is going to have a Veterans Awareness. That's going to be at the Veterans Building on Jefferson Avenue Thursday. It starts at 9 o'clock. It'll go to all the way to 6 o'clock. It'll talk about everything that the veterans are trying to do. So I hope that some of you will attend that. Chapter 9 will have a table. We'll be talking about the things that we're doing. We're having the Veteran Day Parade November 11th. We have over 150 units in that parade. I hope to get all the people out on the street this year, because when you see 1,500 IOT students marching down the street, and the Chandler Park Academy did a float, and we'll have that float entered in this year. They did an outstanding job with a helicopter. These kids put their heart and soul into that float. Stephanie Chang, which we've been working on, is trying to turn Fort Wayne into a national park. Give her a call and vote yes. They'll give me millions of dollars. That place is falling apart. That phone number is 517-373-7346. And finally, as you know, we entered into an agreement many years ago with the Illiches about building our monument and our museum, the Arsenal Democracy Museum. I've sent numerous letters out to them. I haven't gotten any response. I'm going to continue to move on that matter. Detroit was hailed as the Arsenal Democracy. There isn't one thing in this city that commemorates that. So we're pushing for that monument, and we're pushing for the museum. That's the update on all the programs that we've been trying to do. Thank you.
Dates?
Excuse me. My name again, Edward Tuggle. Just like Paul Palazzo just said, on the Veterans Day Parade, this year we have selected to name the Veterans Day Parade in honor of Damon Keith. So we would hope that each and all of you show up. Also, to my beautiful lady veterans, every year we try to get more and more and more of you to come on out. Please come on out and join us. Get in touch with us, because we want to celebrate you lady veterans too. And also, I'm also a member of the Broadhead Armory Association. Jim, if you can come up here. the Broadhead Army Association. We'd like to pass it over to Jim to let him tell you what it's all about.
Madam President, thank you very much for this opportunity. Just give you a short update on the Broadhead Armory. It's at the foot of Belle Isle Bridge and Jefferson Avenue. And I learned we went out there a couple weeks ago to kind of clean things up, clean up the garbage, because on May 25th, which is a Saturday, at 10 a.m., we're going to have a Memorial Day ceremony there. And we're very thankful the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 9, donated the funds to have the flagpole painted. And we now have an 8-foot by 12-foot flag hanging in front of Broadhead. We did get a chance to peer in front of the building, inside the building, to get a clearer idea of the level of effort to bring the building back to life. As a veterans, to symbolize all the work that veterans have done, both Navy, Marine Corps, Army, Air Force, Army National Guard, Merchant Marine. So, but the city does own the building and the land, and it's not ours at this point. But we did feel that we want to kind of dust it off a little bit, improve that, the image of it along Jefferson Avenue as all the flowers are starting to bloom along the boulevard there, and have a Memorial Day ceremony. We're very pleased that most everybody that we invited will be attending. We'll have about 100 chairs, so if you do plan to attend, I would encourage you to bring a chair. But we will have some chairs for the dignitaries and people who are challenged with standing or seating. We also discovered a Broadhead Army Preservation Society. And when the building was open, about 100 people per tour used to tour the building. And it's the same group that helped Broadhead become a historic, registered on the historical preservation with the state of Michigan and at the national level. So it has that historical designation, and it's a pretty complicated document, but they're professionals, they know what they're doing, and so, but anyway, that organization is coming back to life to help keep an eye on making sure that whatever we do with the building, we do it right. So that's my report. If anybody has any other questions. So the comment here was, what are we going to do with the building? Many of us, myself included, have been in the building when it was operational. I was a Navy reservist, and I used to go to Broadhead. It trained a lot of people for World War II. It used to have 2 submarines and a ship adjacent to it in the water for the training of military personnel. So we want to maintain that connection with our veterans community. So right now, the Montford Point Marines, Tuskegee Airmen, Sea Cadets, Ben Carson, NJROTC High School, the Freedom Center is interested. We have a lot of veterans groups that want to occupy the existing offices that are in the main floor of Broadhead. So it would be a service center for many of the veterans organizations to service veterans. But in addition, it will connect to the community. The main floor inside the building is a basketball court. So we've looked at places like the Grosse Pointe War Memorial, some of the community houses in the area. Mac Alive is one. And they provide a lot of services for people in the community, places you can just hang out. And we'll have food and coffee and things like that. So, and definitely, because it's my favorite, custard ice cream. So anyway, one final footnote, a different topic. I actually just drove back from Indianapolis today. Got here about 30 minutes ago. I met with some folks downtown Indianapolis from the USS Indianapolis Ship Commission. So there's a LCS ship called USS Indianapolis. It's sitting up in Marinette Marine right now waiting for its commission location and date. So the intent is to bring that boat into Detroit. So the Secretary of the Navy and the powers at the Department of Defense make that decision, but I was a voice to encourage that. So with our fingers crossed, if it does come into this area, it will not be open to the general public, most likely. It'll be by VIP. But since we're all friends here, and you know me, you know Janina, a few other folks here, we can probably make that happen for your organization. So thank you very much.
Thank you. There is a question. Can you come down, please, to the mic?
Stan Hope Gales, United States Marine Corps. You can stay right there. Actually, the question was for you. I'm just getting back from Lansing. I'm a Detroit native. Was born and raised Jefferson, Chalmers area. I'm Marine Corps, so Broadhead was right there. That's where I did a lot of my training at. I'm bringing a youth mentorship program that I had started in Detroit. Like I said, I'm just back from Lansing. I was trying to find out what's the condition of the building. And you said that community organizations will be able to work there. I would also like to see if I could work with you guys, and who do I need to talk to about, because my program is paramilitary, teach the kids some respect, discipline. It's a new program, so you guys haven't seen it yet, but if you do want to check it out, Soldiers of Hope Youth Outreach Program, Facebook, go and like the page. But that's the kind of program I would like to be there, so I wanted to know who I need to speak to see how I can make that happen.
Okay, I'm the person you want to speak to, and quite honestly, that is precisely the kind of program that we would like to attract. We actually partner with some members of Butzel Long Law Firm, which help guide us in making some of these decisions, and they've prepared some things to help onboard you into that process. So I'd be very delighted to talk to you further about it. Thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions?
I'm told I need to mention that the Broadhead Association is a registered 501c3.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. Mr. Craig, I see you came up.
First of all, on behalf of AARP, I'd like to thank all the females that attended the ceremony honoring female veterans. We honor about 25 female veterans. So it's a very good event, and we're going to do it again next year. AARP, in which I'm hosting a veteran support group, will take place tomorrow from 6 to 8. Guest speakers are Martha Scott, Wayne County Commissioner, Chair of the Veterans Committee for Wayne County, and Thomas, I'm not going to mess up his name, Legal Administrative Specialist for the Veterans Administration, and we have Chris Brown, who's a veteran and military family navigator, tomorrow at the Haddon House from 6 to 8. The Southfield Veterans Commission, which I'm a commissioner, will be having a Memorial Day ceremony Friday, May 24th, 9 a.m. at the City Hall, 26,000 Evergreen in the City Council chamber. Yana Vets is a black veterans organization just getting started, having their first fundraiser, which will be at Soaring Eagle in Mount Pleasant, June 1st, costs $40, $20 free play, $5 toward food. We'll be leaving from Home Depot, Myers, and 7 Mile. The 14th District, which I'm the chairperson for the Veterans Committee, is having a veteran forum June 3rd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be at the Southfield Pavilion. going to be refreshments, speakers, and a brief program. So.
Thank you. I am now going, if there was a question? Okay.
Yes, I also want to let you know, I work with the Freedom Centers, the military lounges at the airport, and we've just gone through like a major change, and the whole website has been updated. We have a new CEO, former Senator Patrick Colbeck is now the CEO, and just in the couple months that he's been involved, there have been some major changes, all for the good, and we're having a fundraising golf outing on August the 2nd at Lake Forest Golf Club, and I'll get some flyers out that. But you can go to MichiganFreedomCenter.org and get all the information. A lot of good work going on there right now.
Thank you. I am going to ask Vet Bill if you will come forth for a presentation, please. And as they are coming forth, as he's coming forth, Vet Bill is a full-service staffing facility, and if you would just introduce yourself and give us all the information we need.
Good afternoon. My name is Hector Malacara Jr.
You can pull it off.
Staff Sergeant, retired U.S. Marine Corps. Vet Built is a staffing company. We're a full-service staffing company. What that means is that we staff for education verification. We double-check that. We do payrolling. We have benefits and compensation reviews for everything that we staff. Part of the reason that it's named Vet Built is because we vet everyone who comes through that door, and we specialize in placing military veterans and civilians alike. We have an array of industries that we do business with, from automotive to pharmaceutical to home housekeeping to the healthcare industry, with the entertainment industry. So a lot of these events, to include from chefs to drivers, the potential and the opportunities are really unlimited. Along with that, we're veteran-owned, minority-owned, and we're also VA agency certified. With that said, that's all we have for now. You can apply at vetbuiltservices.com, and our phone number is 313-964-2729. Thanks, and bye for now. Sure. Vet Built, it's V as in Victor, E as in Echo, T as in Tango, Bravo, Unicorn, India, Lima, Tango. .com.
Okay, thank you so very much. Also, I would like to acknowledge my colleague, who's also a co-chair for the Military and Veterans Affairs, and if he can introduce his own self in his own way.
Thank you so much, Madam President, and how's everyone this evening? Good. I apologize for my tardiness. I had a couple of constituents kind of cornered me, and we got to listen to what folks say. So, again, it's always good to be here, and for the mothers that are here, happy belated Mother's Day.
And what branch of service did you?
Oh, that's right. I do have to tell that. United States Army, retired. I was the regional commander of the northern province of Iraq. I was in Germany, Korea, Iraq, Philippines, Japan. So I kind of went around a little bit there. Yeah. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, thank you. I would like to ask if JHE Consulting Services LLC will give us a little information on what you all do.
Thank you, Madam President. My name is John Ely, and I am with JHE Consulting Services LLC, and it's a consulting company manufacturing healthcare, energy with DT Energy, as well as military contracting. But the real reason I'm here is because of and I'm with Vet Built also. Hector Malacara has given an introduction about what Vet Built is all about, a full service staffing company. But the real purpose for myself being here is for the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable. And we are an advocacy group for veterans, as I mentioned earlier, to introduce veterans to networking, as well as Vet Connect, and also mentorships. And also, along with that, again, I said advocacy for jobs, health care, as well as housing. I've had a conversation with Ms. Cheryl Clark, and she's beat me up a few times because I haven't done my job to find a veteran for her home. So I have some work to do right now. I tried to duck and hide from her. She keeps following me around, but she's done a great job, and I know we can find somebody to put in her homes. And at the same time, Madam President, we, the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable supports corporations that are doing business with veterans. One of the things that on the diversity side, as far as the veteran, corporations, the major corporations in the area as well as the city, working on veteran advocacy as well as the percentages of spend with veteran companies. And that's an important factor there because the corporations have diversity programs that look at minority spend, women's spend, LGBTQ spend, but now veterans have become a part of that, being added into their work as far as their websites and so forth to offer opportunities for veteran companies. And that's the thing that the Veteran-Owned Business Roundtable do work very hard with General Motors, Ford, Chrysler, all the OEMs, as well as the healthcare area, and as well as DTE Energy, consumers, and about 35 other utility companies across the country. And I have some information about the organization. We have a board meeting tomorrow. We had one last week at the Michigan Minor Procurement Conference, downtown Detroit, Cobo Hall. And we run operations, a lot of sponsorships, a lot of opportunities, and I think it'd be a great thing for the veterans to become a member there, as well as if you have a company, get yourself registered within the VA system, the CV system, and become a bona fide, certified, verified veteran-owned company, SD, VOSB, and a VOSB. And also coming here from the United States Marine Corps, General Motors recruited me here, and I joined the reserves, and I was at Broadhead for about 6 or 7 years, and had a great time, great development, and it was one place that we did a lot of community work, Toys for Tots, did everything at Broadhead, and to see it the way it was and the way it's becoming better now, it's a great thing, and whatever I can do to help, or the VOBRT can do to help also, we look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
Got to get a hand clap, you know?
So we normally start at 3 o'clock on the nose, and we're normally over at 4 p.m. on the nose because we know that veterans are on time. Now, I started off by telling you all I was not a veteran, and I apologize for being late. We started about 10 minutes late. So I am going to entertain a motion to continue on with the meeting. Is there a motion? A motion has been made to continue on with the meeting. If there's no objections, we will continue on for about 10 more minutes. If you have to leave, please excuse yourself quietly. Mr. Browning, you have something you want to tell us about?
I just want to, again, thank you for hosting your meeting here today. And for the veterans who receive care here, you know how valuable the care is that you receive. We also try to help folks in other ways with benefits and put them in connection in just about every facet of their life. So, but one thing that we want to talk about today, and just Tina, I'm going to put you on the spot right now, and have Tina Sawicki is our one of our coordinators for the suicide prevention program. And you know how important it is for us to get the word out there. And you may have received a card a few minutes ago that they were passing around. It looks like this. And it's got some information on there. If you haven't gotten that, get with us after the meeting. We'll get you some more information on it. But Tina, just give us a couple of words on the suicide prevention program.
All right, thank you very much. So that card that was handed out was information on the Veterans Crisis Line. That number is 1-800-273-8255.
Can you repeat that?
1-800-273-8255. That number is actually for the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. When you press 1, that call will go to the Veterans Crisis Line. There are 3 call centers answering those calls. Those are located in Canandaigua, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, and Topeka, Kansas. And those responders to those calls to the crisis line are VA-trained responders. If you ever are in crisis, if you feel you just need to talk to someone at 3 a.m., that's what they're there for. If you have a veteran loved one and you have concerns for that veteran, you can call on his or her behalf to that number, and those responders will reach out to that veteran. Also wanted to mention on behalf of the Suicide Prevention Program here, we offer a training called SAVE Training. That's a free training that we are happy to come out to your organization, to your any organization that's out there, and we'll come out and do that training for you if we can work that out. What that does is that gives information on suicide risk factors, asking the question, validating veterans' experience, and encouraging and expediting treatment for those veterans. So we are happy to share that information with you. As far as mental health, I'll just give a plug for mental health services here. We have same-day access for care for anyone who may find themselves needing to come in and speak to someone. You can report to our mental health department, our outpatient mental health department, Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and be seen by a provider that day. So not many places can offer same-day access to care, and that's important to mention, as well as our emergency department, which is available 24/7.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, Tina. Tina mentioned about access. The VA will be undergoing a change in its community care program. It's called the Mission Act, which was passed in 2018. The real rollout of that program is going to begin on June 6th, which is next month. You'll be hearing a lot more information on a lot of different media circuits about the Mission Act, but it's changing some of the levels of accessibility for VA, some of the criteria that we use to help to welcome veterans into our system and to sort of craft that mode for eligibility. So if you have any questions about that, I don't think I can do it justice within 6 minutes, but you'll be hearing more. If you go to the va.gov website, there's more on that information there. Tomorrow, we're hosting our 6th annual VA 2K. We call it the Walk and Roll event. It is essentially to try to raise awareness about wellness and also raise awareness about the Homeless Veterans Program. And we have a very viable program here. We have an outpatient clinic that is on the corner of Brush and Paquette. They provide a 24/7 service to homeless veterans there. And our homeless program here is doing a great job in trying to eliminate homelessness in the city of Detroit for our veterans. So we'll be around for after the meeting, so if you have any more questions, we'd be happy to answer them for you. And we want to thank all the organizations who continue to make this an important part of their monthly calendar. Certainly sharing the information with one another is a big deal because if you don't know, you can't go, right? So we certainly want to make sure that you guys continue to share your information with us and we share it with our constituents and our veterans. So thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions that they want to ask or any comments? If you can just go to the mic.
I don't know if this is the right venue to ask this, but I'm a veteran who went back to school late in life and incurred a tremendous debt. Now, I have since retired, and the debt is like, 6 figures. And they should have figured out by now, I'm not going back to work to pay off that debt. So is there any relief for someone in my situation? When you get in your 70s, you're not going to go back to work to pay off a debt. So I've heard, and I can't verify this, that there are veterans who have been, their debt has been forgiven. And I'm just thinking, since my Social Security and pensions are not going to, it's not going to change. I can't do anything about the debt.
Okay.
I don't want to take it to my grave.
Okay, Mr. Tuggle, you have a response for him?
You can check in with Soldiers Sailors Relief Act. They will probably be able to assist you, and Wayne County Veteran Services. That's right there downtown off of State Street. 23 and Adams. They will probably give you some assistance, okay?
Mr. Tuggle, just a quick question. He stated that he's retired, and I know when we're on active duty, there's a number of programs to pay for that. Will he still be able to receive that assistance now that he's retired?
He's still a veteran.
That's right.
Yes, they passed a law back in 1943, which Wayne County accepted taxes to take care of their veterans here in Wayne County to assist them in need. That's what the Soldiers Sailors Relief Act is all about. And also Wayne County will assist them too.
Thank you for that.
Both of those are in the same building. And while I'm up here, I just want to remind you, don't forget, November 10th will be the Veterans Day, the Veterans March. And this year's Veterans March will be for Damon Keith. Please remind everybody you know, let them know to come on out on November 10th for Damon Keith.
Yeah, I was going to say something real quick, and you can go ahead. Stanley Gills, United States Marine Corps. If also for anybody who's so service connected, I was service connected. And I also have had occurred some school that they do have an application for loan forgiveness, and they forgive me for about $40,000 worth of school debt. So you might want to go online and look that up for veterans relief, and also for debt relief and veterans, and it will come up. Yeah, 100. But you have to be service connected, and it has to be under that, and you won't be able to apply for any new loans. So, yeah.
The Wounded Soldier Fund will also help you. The Fallen Wounded Soldiers Fund, Dr. Phillips, I'll see if I can't get that phone number to you. We are partnering in with them because we're not going to be vending. I get about 30 phone calls a week to help veterans, and I just can't do it. You know, we try to do as much as we can, so we're vending that out to the Fallen Wounded Soldiers to help more veterans, and they have a large amount of money too, and we're going to give them money too to vend out to help you. So they should be able to help you, okay?
Okay. We are wrapping up to our 10 minutes that I asked for. I want to take this opportunity again to thank the VA hospital for allowing us to come here and host our meeting. I want to thank everyone who participated, and definitely we are looking forward to the Fisher House right here in the city of Detroit, and we know that we will have one in Ann Arbor, but we are looking forward to our Fisher House right here in the city of Detroit as we continue to work on the land and everything that we need to make this a reality, and it will be a reality. So thank you. I just also want to announce that our next Military and Veterans Task Force meeting will be held on Tuesday, June the 11th, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Michigan Veterans Foundation, located at 4626 Grand River Avenue. If you need additional information, you can contact my office at 313-224-1245, or Wesley, WESLEYL, at DetroitMI.gov. You can contact Councilmember McAllister's office at 313-224-4535, or at McAllister, that's McCalister, at DetroitMI.gov. And in his absence, our other co-chair is Councilmember Benson, who could not make it today. His office number is 313-224-1198, or Benson, BENSONS, at DetroitMI.gov. Please tell a veteran and bring a veteran to our next meeting. This is where we network, we share information, we get information, and we try to assist each other. My 10 minutes is up. I was told to start on time and end on time, Paul, and I try to do it to the best of my ability. I want to thank you all for being here, and we look forward to you being at our next meeting. And I see your hand, but I asked for 10 minutes, and that 10 minutes has ended. So we look forward to seeing you at our next meeting, and this meeting stands adjourned.